Hi everybody, let's talk about yoga for our chronic fatigue management plans. I am Melissa from melissaversusfibromyalgia.com. I have had chronic fatigue for a very long time. It came on suddenly after a bad bug at university, but I have a feeling it would have developed anyway because I've had insomnia for longer than that. So we're talking since I was in my late teen years. I've had the pain, the fatigue and the insomnia, but the fatigue really jumped up in that last year of university, and it's gone up and down over the years, and I have learnt a lot of different things. It is a bit tricky because there's no medicine for fatigue. You can't just take some Panadol or some ibuprofen. If you do manage your pain well, you can reduce your fatigue, and there are ways to reduce your fatigue, but I find that it is not as easy a fix. Not that it is easy to manage any chronic issues, but I want to talk today particularly about how I use yoga tools to help me manage chronic fatigue, and how I put it into my management plans. So the first thing is that yoga tools permeate my pacing plan. So pacing is really important. I use the energy that I have well, and that helps me actually to create more. It helps me to have a whole day plan and alternate within the day as well. So looking at my work-life balance and looking at the ratio of rest to work and all of that kind of thing. And the yoga tools really help there. So I can use my Yoga Nidra guided meditation for my bigger, more restorative breaks. And I can use breathing and restorative yoga for shorter, more accessible breaks. And gentle movement is just good for fatigue management overall. So let's have a quick talk about that. If you want to come along and learn about my absolute favorite tool for chronic fatigue management, which is Yoga Nidra, I'll leave a link to my program below. It's all sorts of different practices which I show you basically examples of how it fits into your life. So that is there, but let's talk about how they all help. So Yoga Nidra guided meditation. This thing has saved my life. So I have a long history of chronic fatigue, a long history of chronic pain, and a long history of insomnia. And if you know anything about being extremely exhausted but completely unable to rest, you will know what it's been like. It's been hard, and it came to a head when I had my small children, and so even my very interrupted, very poor quality of sleep was interrupted and ruined, right? And when my first son was getting a little older, I wish I'd found it earlier, but when I had gone back to work and I was exhausted as anything and I couldn't get enough rest and I just felt miserable. You know those days when you're just too miserable to be awake but you can't go to sleep? They were like all the time, and I found Yoga Nidra guided meditation and I put it on and I just rest fully. It gives me 10, 20, 30, 45 minutes of profound rest, which I can't get in any other way. So in Yoga Nidra, you are mimicking those deeper levels of sleep in your brainwaves, which we don't tend to get when we've got a chronic sleep problem. So even with all the things I do, even with my Yoga Nidra and years of doing it, calming my nervous system, having all of my sleep hygiene plans in place, doing all the things, I still don't get the right amount of deep sleep percentage and REM sleep percentage we need for optimal functioning. So you can imagine with all this work and all these tools I have, imagine what it was like before I even had that. It has really made a difference. I know now when I'm sick, when I'm exhausted, when I'm struggling, I have a way of getting profound rest. And so that is my one rest break in the day, and I make sure I put it in somewhere. I've done Yoga Nidra almost every day for about 7 years now, and it has really helped me a lot. But obviously we can't always go to bed and fully relax and do a 15, 20, 30, 40, whatever minute rest. So this is where the other tools can come in handy as well. So using deep breathing, I talk about this in chronic pain management as well in quite a lot of places. Taking some deep breaths really helps. So when you're in high levels of fatigue and pain, your breathing can become quite shallow, which puts a lot of tension in your shoulders and neck, and more pain makes more fatigue, but also it doesn't help your brain work optimally. It makes you more tired if you're not breathing effectively. So stopping and focusing on your breath not only withdraws your energy from external things for a minute, but it improves your breathing and all of that stuff. So few minute breathing breaks here and there are really great. You can do them while you're dealing with your children, you can do them when you're driving, when you're on the train, when you're at work. You can really do it anywhere, anytime, and building that into your day can really help. Then we've got another passive practice, which is restorative yoga. So that is where you really set yourself up comfortably in a position, and each position has good benefits, but most of the benefits are that they activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest response. So it helps us rest, which helps improve energy and decrease fatigue. So that is a really useful way to do it. And again, it's 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever you've got, and it can be done right before bed, first thing in the morning as a rest in the day. So you can see how these tools start to work. And then we'll talk about the physical practice that you think of, right? When people think of yoga, this is last for me, but gentle, mindful movement and stretching also helps. It is good for our body to move carefully and mindfully, and it creates more energy when we do it well. And so that's the key part, is we want to do it well and in a way that's appropriate for our body. So that concept of pacing, right? How much energy we have, how much we should be using right now, and what is suitable for our body. And so that might mean stretching on our bed, and that is fantastic. It might mean stretching in the chair, it might mean a 5-minute class, it might mean 10, 15, 20, whatever. Probably what it means is a good mixture. So I like the idea of breathe, stretch and rest. So you breathe, then you have a gentle stretch or movement class, and then you do some rest, whether that's restorative yoga or just a shavasana for a time, or whether you get to do a full yoga nidra. So that's how it all works together, and you can see how these break up really nicely and can go across your day, and they can go into your chronic fatigue management toolkit and your whole of life management toolkit. You see how you can break it up, so it is not necessarily what people think when they think of yoga, and that's kind of my jam, is to make sure people know that that's an option. Okay, it's a really great, natural, side effect free, if you're doing it wisely, way to help us manage and improve our energy levels. It's not going to cure us, there is no cure for us, but it really helps, and the research proves it, and it really helps me. So that's why I love to share it. If you want to come and learn more about these tools, I've got links below. In particular, I'd love to share with you about yoga nidra for chronic pain and fatigue, because that is my jam and I love sharing that with people. It is my absolute favorite tool, and I've shared videos about it before. Let me know, which of these tools have you tried, which do you want to try, and are any of them in your plan, or are you inspired now to go and make a plan?